O.J. Simpson could be released from jail as soon as Monday. Simpson, 70, is currently at Lovelock Correctional Center in northern Nevada on a 9-year sentence for robbery and kidnapping. He is expected to be transferred to High Desert State Prison outside Las Vegas, from which he will be released. At a hearing in July, Simpson was given the date of Sunday, the 1st of October, as the day on which he becomes eligible for parole. He could then be released on the next available working day, as no business happens at the weekend. The parole of the former NFL star-turned-actor is yet to be completed, Nevada State Department of Corrections spokeswoman Brooke Keast told The Guardian. His release is expected to be videoed and released to the public, according to Keast. Simpson could then live with his friend Tom Scotto in Florida, provided the terms of his probation agree to him moving outside the state of release. However, Florida has not received any paperwork from the state of Nevada, and Scotto says the release may not happen that quickly. One factor that could weigh against his seemingly solid case for parole is the notoriety still surrounding his acquittal in a sensational double murder trial that gripped America 2 decades ago. In an interview with Reuters in July, Loyola Law School professor Laurie Levinson said, "What plays against him is the ghost of the murders. Anyone else fitting Simpson's inmate profile would be virtually assured of parole," she said. "What we don't know is how much the O.J. factor will make a difference. Simpson's fate will be decided on the basis of factors, including his age, his conduct in prison and whether his release would pose a threat to public safety. Judged by such standards, inmate number 1,027,820 would by all accounts be well suited for parole, clearing the way for him to walk free once he has finished serving the minimum term of his sentence on October 1st. Besides having already won a favorable parole ruling from the same commissioners 4 years ago before reaching eligibility for release, the 70-year-old also lacks any prior felony convictions and is reported to have been a model inmate. Simpson was instrumental in mediating inmate disputes at Lovelock, said Nevada State Assemblyman Osvaldo Fumo, who was part of Simpson's legal team in a failed appeal of his conviction. He also served as an unofficial athletic director in the prison yard, led prayer groups and even lobbied for inmate education funding. Simpson will appear before the parole board by live video feed from prison. He will be joined by a lawyer and supporters including daughter Inell Simpson, sister Shirley Baker and one of his robbery victims, who plans to express his forgiveness of Simpson at the hearing, Fumo said. David Roger, the retired Clark County District Attorney who tried Simpson in 2008, said, "Based upon my knowledge of his background and behavior in prison, I expect he will be a very good candidate for getting parole." In a similar assessment posted last week on the internet forum Reddit, incumbent DA Steve Wolfson said, "Most people who are 70 years old, who have been model prisoners, will be excellent candidates for parole. Mr. Simpson fits the description." Wolfson said his wife, retired Judge Jackie Glass, presided over Simpson's Las Vegas trial, sentencing him to a term of 9 to 33 years in prison. A jury found Simpson guilty of all 12 charges against him for storming into a Las Vegas hotel room in 2007 with 4 cohorts and holding 2 sports memorabilia dealers at gunpoint, then making off with thousands of dollars in items he said rightfully belonged to him. His conviction came exactly 13 years after his 1995 acquittal in the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman, who were found stabbed and slashed to death in Los Angeles in June 1994. A civil court jury later found Simpson liable for the deaths and awarded $33.5 million in damages to the victims' families, a judgment renewed in court for another decade and enlarged to about $58 million 2 years ago. It remains largely unpaid. Prosecutors said the Las Vegas robbery grew out of grudges Simpson had nursed since his murder trial and civil case. David Cook, longtime attorney for Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, called his client the elephant in the room as Simpson's fate is decided. He vowed to remain dogged in seeking to collect on the judgment against Simpson. The good news for Mr. Simpson is he's probably going to get out on October 1st, Cook said. And the bad news is I'm good for another 10 years, ready to pick up where we last left off.